In the small town of Willow Creek, an old roller rink sat in disrepair, an eerie relic of its former glory. Known as the Disco Dome, it was once a hub for teens, buzzing with 70s disco hits and flashing lights. By 1985, though, it was abandoned, rumored to be haunted by restless souls. Urban legends claimed the rink would trap anyone who skated there after midnight. But to a group of thrill-seeking high school friends, these were just ghost stories. Nothing that a little late-night adventure couldn't handle. That night, they climbed through a broken window, flashlights in hand, and skated onto the scuffed floor. The air was thick with dust and an odd, damp smell, and the rink was pitch black except for the streaks of moonlight seeping in through cracks. Still, the friends were excited for one last skate before graduation. Just as they started gliding around, an old speaker crackled to life. A hauntingly familiar disco beat poured out, echoing eerily in the empty rink. They looked at each other in confusion. Wasn't this place cut off from power? Undeterred, they kept skating, laughing and goofing off. But as they whirled around, something strange began to happen. In the mirrored walls, shadowy figures appeared, gliding silently along with them, their features obscured, but their eyes fixated on the teens. At first, the friends brushed it off as their reflections or tricks of the light. But soon, the figures moved independently, their movements just out of sync with the skaters. The music grew louder, more hypnotic. It echoed in their ears, making them dizzy, as if it was seeping into their minds and guiding their movements. Suddenly, one of them, Danny, skated to a stop, staring wide-eyed into the mirror. His mouth opened in a silent scream, and before anyone could reach him, the music stopped. When the track ended, Danny was gone, leaving nothing but his roller skates behind. The remaining friends were horrified. They tried calling out for Danny, but there was no answer, only silence that felt heavier than the music. Panic set in, but before they could leave, the music started up again, even louder this time. Another disco track, its beat relentless, almost like a heartbeat, pulsed through the speakers louder and louder, drowning out their shouts. Each friend began to feel the irresistible pull of the music. Their bodies moved involuntarily, and as they skated, they couldn't help but glance at the mirrors, where the shadowy figures now looked disturbingly familiar, taking on their own features. A horrifying realization dawned. The figures weren't just shadows, they were ghostly copies of themselves. Desperation took over, as another friend, Sarah, suddenly froze in mid-skate, staring into her own spectral twin in the mirror. The moment the song ended, she too vanished, her skates clattering to the floor in the darkness. Realizing they were next, the last two friends, Emma and Kyle, fought the music's hold on them, desperately trying to stay awake and break the trance. But the beat pounded harder, shaking the very floor of the rink. They knew they had to disrupt the music before it could claim them all. Emma spotted an old speaker lying against a wall and grabbed it, slamming it against the floor with all her strength. The music stuttered just for a second, but it was enough. She and Kyle plugged their ears, yelling at each other to keep making noise, to drown out the tune. As they did, a low rumble shook the rink, and cracks spiderwebbed across the floor, ripping apart the polished surface that had held them captive. The rink was collapsing, revealing a dark, endless pit below, as if the music itself had sustained the rink's existence. And now, it was breaking apart. With one last shove, Emma and Kyle made it to the exit, leaving behind the echoes of disco music and the souls forever trapped in the mirrors. As they stumbled outside, panting and disoriented, they found that hours had passed. Yet no one in town seemed to remember the old rink or its tragic past. When they spoke about what happened, no one believed them. The rink had apparently burned down decades ago, they were told. no longer standing, not even as ruins. Only vague stories of disappearances from back in the disco era remained, like the faintest whisper of a warning. But Emma and Kyle couldn't forget the music that haunted their dreams, the reflections that seemed to watch them from every mirror they passed. Every night, in the quiet, they heard the faint echo of disco beats, waiting for them to step back into the rink and join the dance forever. The roller rink reaper weaves themes of nostalgia, vanity, and the allure of dangerous thrills. The disco music, with its hypnotic beat, becomes a metaphor for the things people can't let go of: regrets, memories, or the allure of risk that often pulls us back to places we shouldn't revisit. The rink symbolizes a trap created by these unresolved attachments, waiting to draw people into an endless loop of fear and longing. The mirrors reflect more than just the teens' images. They show the danger of getting lost in memories and illusions. Each friend's disappearance into the mirrors is a warning about the seductive nature of looking backward, of letting the past consume the present. Emma and Kyle's narrow escape serves as a reminder of the power of the past to haunt us, urging us to break free before we're trapped in a loop of fear, just like the spirits at the Disco Dome.